Howdy, one and all. Welcome back to the last matchup of the night, closing out week number 1 of MEC Rocket League action. It's Kendo Slice alongside Captain at Soka. And Captain, there are times that I'm just straight up jealous of the fact that you're a captain, and well, the best I can say is my kids call me Captain Daddy.
Wow, that is a lot. Yeah. Okay, Captain Daddy. Okay, respect
Yeah,
the fatherhood. They just call me Captain at Soka. I have a cat. That my cat's name is Captain Meow Meow. So that is also another captain. Is the cat. So
Why
there are many
have
captains.
I never seen Captain Meow Meow? This is amazing. This is
Because
revelationary.
Because they're new. They're still relatively new and they're camera shy. So we'll have to wait to another day to introduce the world to Captain Meow Meow. But the point is there are many captains out there. Some are dads, some are cats. And then there's Atsuko. But with that being said, we are back with the Midwest Esports Conference with some more Rocket League, and we have ONU taking on Simpson College. Now, this is going to be another interesting matchup just because ONU, again, one of those top formidable teams, but Simpson College, nothing to wave a stick at either. You know, Simpson College should be pretty good, but are they going to be good enough to go up against ONU? Let's get ready to find out. As from the ONU side, we have J-Rup versus Stin. I'm just going to say Stin because that looks like a face. The O.O looks like a face to me. So that's going to be Stan. You might be Stan today. And then to wrap things up for ONU, it's Kip. And on the other side for Simpson College, we got J.K. Rusher King and Barky and June Bugo for Simpson College. June Bug. Well, so June Bug 04 then. June Bug.
I'm gonna try not to laugh too hard.
It's all good. These are my attempts at pronunciating on the first try. We've already,
that is the fun thing about all of this. Again, folks, I'm sure that we're gonna have people correcting us throughout the night, but that's half of the fun. We are getting to know a brand new portion of the Midwest Esports Conference esports plethora of games and titles that we're able to do. And Rocket League, of course, is a game that's near and dear to our hearts. So we're being introduced for the first time to a lot of these young folks who are venturing on through their academic upbringings and through their careers as scholastic athletes. So we're gonna learn as we go. STN, J-Rup, yep, yes.
I was gonna say, speaking of learning, I just want to throw out there, if any player has a little red line come up whenever they type their gamer tag, don't have the expectation of someone to pronounce it correctly off the first rip. I'm just saying, because if spell check doesn't recognize it as a word, guess what? Neither do we.
It's okay. If anybody ever wants to get vengeance and pay me back recompense at a live event, just call me Ken Doss Lice. Or
you can call me
Zero. Ken Zero. That's another fun one.
Oh, I get Atsuka a lot. I get Atoska for some reason.
Yeah.
But no, the one I get the most is Atsuka, and then. Okay, and now I'm hearing word that Hawkeye is in for Junebug, so it didn't matter how I pronounced their name. Win-win.
Speaking of Hawkeye, they might have needed a Hawkeye for Ohio Northern to put that one through. Not going to be able to convert this time around, and Simpson College are able to breathe easy going into this game number 1 just for a moment.
Ooh, well, once again,
I had a little bit of bombastic side-eye there for a second, Cap.
Oh, what? I was right there with you. I'm thinking ONU's got to score eventually, right? I mean, their shots have been on target. They're finding an opening, but somehow, and again, take this the best way possible, but ONU has managed to miss in spectacular fashion until finally Kip gets the first one to go for ONU.
Yes, indeed, and part of me was surprised it didn't come earlier than that just because of how much the ball dangled on the goal line in the early stages here. Not a slight at all for Simpson College. It ended up taking a little bit longer for Ohio Northern to convert on one of those nets that seemed to be open. So they can breathe easy for a moment, a chance to reset everything for Simpson College, and they're going to want to do so by maintaining control in their own defensive zone, at least here in the early on. Speaking of control, Ohio Northern, beautiful passing.
I mean, that was beautiful possession through and through. I mean, I was getting actually to make the comment that, you know, regardless of how many missed attempts we have seen from ONU, their possession and handling of the ball from one side of the pitch to the other is just absolutely saucy. I mean, when they take control of the ball, they take control. Now, when it comes to finishing, you know, there definitely should be about like 5 goals on the board right now for ONU. But hey, there's nothing wrong with a 2-0 lead.
Here we are as Ohio Northern once again exudes their control from the midfield on. To push this into the next zone. Given plenty of time, and that is something that Simpson University, or College, excuse me, is going to have to do. Is going to have to shore up a little bit. You want to make sure that you are on ball, making sure you keep presence behind these challenges. That's going to be the first step. Of course, this is a best of 5, so even despite the fact that this team's down 2-0 in game number 1, they have plenty of time to make adjustments, both on the fly and in between games. So one change for the better could end up going a long way in bringing solace for this game number 1, as at the moment, Ohio Northern going to find another connection.
Yep, and then there is another just phenomenal touch there, and it's unfortunate because when they had that pass coming from J-Rup, they both pulled on it. Both defenders from Simpson College, they both pulled on it. They went for the challenge, and it just left an opening for Ohio Northern to put that one in, and now it's 3-0 in the favor of ONU right at the 2-minute mark.
Play on. College finally moving this ball up together, doing so as a unit. So I'm always looking for the positives, even in light of the fact that they are down by 3. They are moving fairly well up the field together. It's something that you always want to see offensively. They have to move it up together because team-based offense does a whole lot better than just trying to cram the ball into the net. 1v3. Not so much. You want that full 3v3, and J.K. Rusher King able to put it through.
You know when you see a play develop and you're watching you're watching the play really come together, and you know you see that initial pass out the corner and you're thinking to yourself, that looks good. That looks good, and sure enough it was, because the follow-up shot was a laser into the upper 90. Simpson College strike back, none too soon, but easy come easy go. ONU gets another of their own.
No doubt that it was all about trying to get the quick answer for Ohio Northern. They came in with a little bit of everything. The pass, the carry execution, and the demolition create space for that goal in Simpson College. Despite the solace of getting that first goal and breaking the ice, Ohio Northern have asserted their dominance in game number 1. That being said,
ONU is just mean. They didn't even let me get. They didn't even let me get hype for Simpson College's goal. You know, I was in the middle of praising them, and then they just score. That's just rude.
You see, you got to just praise them anyway, Cap. I kind of want to hear some praise for Simpson College. We'll leave that for the in-between game, but I'll give you 40 seconds to get ready for that one. It is Uncle STN now. And told what that name means, but I will continue with the STN just for lack of time to spell it out for y'all here today in the crowd. Push on, Simpson College For one more goal, working together yet again, not able to get it over Kip, but they continue the charge. Is it the third attempt that goes through? Not quite, but signs of life from Simpson College in this 4-1 effort, game number 1.
And you know what? It was a really good first game. ONU come through, and we'll take it 5-1 as the clock hits 0, and the final goal will go on for J-Rupp. And Simpson College, they did start to wake up a little bit, but again, by then it was just too little too late. The game had been foregone, but I do expect to see more of a presence coming from the side of Simpson College once we head into game number 2. Again, they just took a little while to wake up, that's all.
Do you have any positivity for them? I'm going to hold you to it. I want to hear a positive take for what Simpson was able to do in game number 1.
I was hyping them up on their first goal. It was a good goal. They got it on target, and I was caught off. Like the time between Simpson College's goal and the next goal scored by ONU was not enough to give praise to Simpson College. That's all. And Simpson College, you know, again, they started to come alive. So you know what? I will still be positive for Simpson College because now we got a brand new game. The score is set back to 0. We got 4 minutes and 45 on the clock. Simpson College, they still have another shot.
Ooh. And speaking of another shot, it will be saved by J.K. Rusher King. What I will add a little bit of positivity as well. What I saw at the very end from Simpson College, everyone working together, getting 3 straight shots on net. Definitely a positive sign, and it goes hand in hand with what we've already seen as far as the identity of this school goes. They have done an excellent job working the ball forward together. Once they get in the offensive zone, they have been able to exact multiple tries on net. So there are ingredients to work with, but it takes more than just flour to make a cake. In Simpson, they'll be looking to have their cake and eat it too. The big save on the goal line.
And once again, ONU just applying that pressure, and it's I feel debated because I'm thinking ONU is going to score, but once again, when they had the opportunity to score, it goes by the wayside. That was the riskiest save I've ever seen. Totally unnecessary. They could have hit it out another way, but I guess they had to throw some style points on the drift, and then they turned the defense into offense with the assist from Uncle Stan, finding their teammate Kip on the other side of the pitch. That was just flawless execution from start to finish, from goal to goal, post to post, coast to coast. ONU now up 1-0.
First 91 seconds for Simpson College in game number 2. I don't feel have been bad by any stretch of the imagination. The defense has shown itself rise to the occasion. My issue right now comes with the position of challenge. This ball is getting far too deep, not just into their defensive zone, but it is in the box. It is in the danger zone before they are able to finally come and breach the challenge. Case in point, J-Rupp is just able to usher this down from help. STN coming through.
I'm still confused on how that one went in because it looked like the defender was there and it just went off the crossbar, off the defender, back into the net. It's unfortunate. It really is unfortunate. But with that being said, I hope that we, if ONU manages to take the dub, that we get to interview Uncle STN, because I want to ask if it's Stan, because I'm going to call them Stan. You call them STN. And then I guess we'll find out eventually what the pronunciation is. But regardless, we are still in the thick of it here in game number 2, approaching halftime, and Simpson College down 2-0 from ONU.
That being said, it's I'm fine that I feel like they are much more comfortable with than the previous. With the defense that we have seen so far. It is very encouraging. That being said, the offense also very encouraging from Ohio Northern. They've been given enough room. Again, the point of challenge is where I contest Simpson College needs to move it out of their zone. Ohio Northern have been given so much room in the midfield, and they're starting to do some very fancy things off of the side walls and off of the ceiling with their controls of possession. Ball should be a goal, but it is robbed from Simpson College.
Oh, that's not fair. That was pixels. You got duped by the pixels. But at the same time, I mean, we got to give credit where credit was due. The save was literally insane. That they fish hooked that one out of the back of the net. And what shoulda, woulda, coulda been a goal for Simpson College, absolutely robbed by ONU.
Looked like me at the talent show after a bad joke. That's what happened. Got the full cane and hook stick and treatment completely
and a friendly
taken off of the goal line.
And a friendly tomato to the face from Captain Atsuka.
Exactly. I appreciate it. I'll make sure I put it in a stew later. 52 seconds left in what should be the 2-1 game. But Ohio Northern continue to show control. Simpson College, though, breaking in on this ball. A chance for a 2v1. And STN will hold off, but the angle from J.K. Rusher King will score a goal.
And none too soon. 37 seconds left. And with that goal, Simpson College are within one of equalizing. And that is more than enough time in Rocket League to put a goal on target. We have seen a lot more done with a lot less. Let's see if they can get it done, as now the time will tick against Simpson College.
Still not sure what was more difficult on that goal, the angle or the fact that they were able to get a bump into the net and a bump out of the net to make sure that nobody was able to save that angle. Well, regardless, there's 20 seconds to score another one and get things back. Simpson College, not necessarily resting on their laurels, but Ohio Northern are going to exude control from one end of the pitch to the other. 20 seconds. Hold my possession, as Simpson College aren't even given the opportunity to touch the ball in the last 20 seconds. Ohio Northern, insult to injury to finish off game number 2.
And you know what? That was a fantastic read and shot by Kip. But can we just point out how mechanically gifted Uncle Stan is? Like, I'm pretty sure they got a playmaker medal that game, by the way. They were throwing out the assists. They were playing point guard for their team. And every single time it was coming off of a wall, flip, reset, follow-up touch from Uncle Stan that was just going off of the backboard, throwing the defense through a loop, and then leaving a wide open shot for their teammates. And there's a reason Uncle Stan was the MVP that game. Again, their mechanical prowess is insane. They are literally playing point for ONU right now.
So I do want to, again, go into this name. At the point that we are at, I know the answer to the question of what is the name.
But you're not going to tell me. You're just going to let me dig my grave.
No, it's not about the digging of the grave. My sincere hope is that Soul Taker Nation will take on the moniker of Uncle Stan.
All right, fine. Fair enough. I mean...
Because in all honesty, it's been giving us the uncle treatment throughout. They have done a great job on balls, facilitating some of the offense for Ohio Northern. Definitely seems like they have a bit of a leadership role on the pitch for this squad.
Absolutely, but I'm still convinced there's somebody out there who has an Uncle Stan.
Absolutely.
I've never heard of an Uncle Soul Taker Nation, but with that being said, I didn't know that was their name. I didn't know it was Soul Taker Nation. So again, my brain was trying to brain, and the best thing I could come up with was Stan. I didn't know it was an acronym. How am I supposed to know that?
Now we do know, and then on top of everything else, it's been giving me the good old Gravity Falls vibes with Great Uncle Stan. And so far, Ohio Northern have shown themselves to be great. The combination of Kip, STN, and JREP has been pretty stinking fluid, and they have done very well with the room afforded to them. Simpson College, however, have started to take the battle to Ohio Northern, and a loose ball like that is going to get punished every single time.
And you know what? It's no surprise because every time they take possession of the ball, they get closer and closer and closer. That one rings off the sidebar, but what is the old adage in Rocket League? Sometimes the best passes come off of missed shots, and it rings true today. Simpson College, for the first time in the series, take the lead over ONU.
They're going to have to keep that attenuation. They're going to have to stay on the attack and not give Ohio Northern the space that they have been afforded in the previous 2 games of this match. Here comes Kip. Kip has the double tap potential, but another brilliant save. And unsung hero, as a theme earlier, J.K. Rusher King is not just an unsung hero. They've got the full-on cape. Oh, but Kip unable to make the save the 3rd time.
Yeah, well, I got to say that lead from Simpson College was interrupted with that pass. My goodness, that was a beautiful all the way down, finding their teammate, and now the lead for Simpson College is no longer. ONU tied things back up 1-1 right at the half, right at around 2 minutes and 30.
Definitely of note for Simpson College. They do have quite the savior on the goal line, and J.K. Rusher King gonna need another one on the goal line, and out. They are able to return the favor from game number 2, as that one will stay just out. Are they able to get the transition back into the offensive zone? No, Kip is there, looking to maintain possession. Hawkeye into the corner. The lose out gets the ball high off the backboard. Ohio Northern will look for the quick transition. J-Rupp off the sidewall. They have a secondary touch. No, but the team effort was gold. The quick retreat, and STN just able to keep this one out again. Cap, the rapid fire pace is daunting to me, and Ohio Northern look to be choosing to slow things down and go for a physical approach.
You know what? I'm not even mad at it. As you can see now, J-Rupp trying to go for the musty flick, somehow pulled 2 defenders out, leaving an open net for Uncle STN, Soul Taker Nation, as they will find a goal on the board. What will chalk up as a double commit, an error, if you will, but it is still going to be an ONU 2-1 lead.
I do find it funny if there is an interview question. That is definitely going to be one of mine. Can we just call you Uncle Stan at this point? Is that going to be rude to ask a college student to call them Uncle Stan? Maybe.
Maybe not.
Stay tuned. Stay tuned to see whether or not we do get this opportunity for content live on stream. But right now, the content is on the pitch, and it is 60 seconds left. Simpson College starting to look refined in their approach towards the middle of the field onward, and another save on the goal line. Again, the saves look brilliant. It gives us a gasp, but they really need to be challenging these balls earlier.
Oh my, they do, because of instances like this. If you challenge this ball earlier, then Uncle STN can't get the carry. But when you wait that long to challenge, even if you get a touch on the ball, the 50-50 odds of that going in on the goal line are just astronomical. It's no longer a 50-50. It's more like an 80-20 when it happens on the goal line. So ONU now enjoy a comfortable 2-goal cushion with 30 seconds to spare.
Uncle Stronk at this point. It's devastating, though. With only 20 seconds to go, they've already shown they can control the ball for an individual 20 seconds, and Simpson College has struggled against the lead. Do they have one more in them? This ball potentially dropped down off the crossbar twice, and they will settle just for the confusion. Ohio Northern going to start off their season following suit with Miami University. It is a 3-0. The only thing that's left to decide is the scoreline.
Well, there you have it. It is going to be a 3-0 sweep, the third of the day. All of our games have ended in 3-0 sweep. sweeps, and ONU no exception. And at the same time, dare I say, not surprising. I was not to say anything against their opponent, just saying that ONU, as I had said in the beginning of the program, is ONUing. That's what they do.
I mean, we can go with that, Cap, but at the same point, I pointed out early on, it did seem like Simpson had an issue with where that point of challenge was, and I highlight it when I see it. The times where adjustments are made, whether it be in between games or on the fly, that problem stayed with them throughout the entire series. And I don't say this as putting a Debbie Downer on their day. No, this is one small adjustment, one minuscule change that they could make to completely alter the complexity of this series. What they looked like in the offensive zone was pretty stinking good. The issue was the point of challenge never made it outside of the defensive box. And multiple goals ended up being converted. Why? Because they weren't making it outside of the box. It was a whole lot easier to Uncle Stronk the ball into the net because that last line of defense was not defending in the air early on. That last line of defense was really defending just a few Unreal units in front of the goal line.
Well, the good news is there is still time to make the adjustments. Like you said, Simpson College, they have some things they have to work on. They can go back, they can watch the VODs, and then they can make those adjustments, especially as we get closer to the MEC class.